What is the true power of divine light? What is the possibility to experience more of that divine light in your life? There's a lot of going on these days, and it's been a while also since I was in this space on my channel, and I was called to share some bunch of message around the possibilities before, and then actually continue with a divinely guided to share on the topics. I have the monthly topics, and this month is actually around the light, and that keep creating that harmony with the light on the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual levels, to experience more of that harmony, and exploring each area to see where you can create more harmony, to experience more of that total harmony between all of those areas. So each week was that exploration. I decided at the last week, where I'm sharing about divine light, to come live here and kind of testing a bit a new setup through third party, and see how that will work out, if that message will be recorded or will be just live. And so we shall see, and see if I can create a better habit of coming more frequent here live, and encourage for the viewers to subscribe to the channel, because at some point I believe the YouTube thing is about 50. When I have 50 subscribers, I can actually come directly live through the YouTube channel and share my wisdom and messages this way as well, and not incurring additional expenses to attempt to do that through third party, even though many times it's kind of cute. Like, I decided, even with certain version, to put something here, like some background, so it looks like I'm speaking from TV. That's kind of what reminds me of, and making it a little bit more joyful. That's what the channel about, creating that peace and joy, and with health and wealth, or health and wealth with peace and joy. This was kind of created, I believe the idea was around the health and wealth, and the channel was taken, so it was need to add additional words to open that channel, and to actually, initially what was possibly under a different branding, and right now it's more under Awaken Women. So kind of expansion of my other channel, my website. I believe I have even description, and potentially sharing some links to the website, and some channels that I have, Instagram and Facebook group community, under the name Awaken Woman Club. So that's how I'm branding myself on social, and Awaken Woman is the website, as the community, as the branding. So anyhow, what do we get to talk about? The divine light. Coming, just turning a new decades, and coming from more understanding and reflections. I was before I step into that new decade, was making some reflections to extract some lessons and directions, guidance, listening to some guidance, what I get to take to start. And sometimes it feels, yes, with that new decade, I get to start from scratch, and honestly, it might be feeling that way. However, possibly I finally come from more lessons that I learned, and extractions of those lessons, to expedite my journey, to get closer, and to be of true service with my higher calling, which is mainly that I was being guided to help women stand in their power and use their voice. And my focus focus is on visionary heart center women. I thought I can help everybody, but I'm only one human. So in order to really make a true difference without craziness and manipulations of you, because I've been experienced that for years. When I was called, I was tuning to business advice, spending thousands of dollars and asking some potentially experienced business marketers, salespeople, to see how I can grow my visibility, how I can grow my community. And many of those tactics were seems to be in some kind of manipulation and attempts of not really be of the true service. So coming from more and another divine message when a lot of conflict and upheavals were showing up, I was tuning again more to myself, to God, to Jesus. I'm like, hey, help me, what I get to do. I feel so distressed around the situation. I supposed to be of that higher service and higher calling, and I don't know what to do when I'm doing my best investing in in the expansion, and I experience a lot of contractions, and I know how to go from there. So the words were pretty simple, share of the true service, and even with that, I felt uh, what my subconscious was revealing was, okay, yes, I know I've been in true service for so long, and subconsciously and habitually what was transpiring, well, let's just keep self-sacrifice. And somehow this time was a little bit different. It wasn't continue with the auto programming of that self-sacrifice. How it was just like, hey, yeah, it would be great and felt good, and also not just basing on the good feeling and moving forward, but like, okay, let's just bring more logic and light to it, and see if I can have a little bit more patience. Will I still have that inner knowing that this is the right thing for me, and somehow it open up even more understanding and clarity that it's not that even though it created even more mixed feelings, that I felt like in a good place, and it took so much time and my energy and efforts. I get to actually let go. I was creating that space for myself to reconnect to myself, and my higher self was telling me to let go something that I was attempting of creating for some time. It wasn't working. It created a lot of upheaval, and I was just keep redirecting, reinventing. Maybe I will approach from this perspective. Maybe I approach from this perspective. Maybe there's something that I get to kind of still learn before it will open up the possibility and door. And I was just ongoing and frustrating journey, and until even without like I let it go. I'm like, and put it that more trust that if it meant really truly for me to be in that environment and space again, uh, I will be. If not, it will open some other doors. And yes, it's not very comfortable space to be in when I don't know which door will truly open for me next. And building, continue to build more of that trust and shining more light on myself, and showering myself with love and finding joy in all of that, and returning more to my peace, to actually come from more of that harmony, from more of that center space, where I can really experience more of that divine light, and where I can make a difference for myself, true difference for myself, in that health and wealth, creating both, and as well as coming with a lot of peace and joy from it when it's in more harmony. So we shall see. That message will be here, and more messages to come. And so that's kind of that divine light, and how that harmony is, why that harmony is important, so important. It's a really a true difference that you can experience when you coming from that harmony, when you coming from a sovereign place, when you coming from love. You're not only helping yourself really truly be of service to yourself, but also can be of true service to others, because you creating that immunity to the manipulations of other people, that their main objective, many times in disguise, is to somehow manipulate system, and greed is the predominant thing for a personal gain. and and they feel that they can go far in their wealth creation by keep manipulating people, by keep being greedy, that they have to kind of make the living, and they justify that there's nothing wrong with it. It should be said, yes, there's nothing wrong with it. However, if it comes from manipulation, if it comes from the greed, because you're trying to protect yourself and make the living out of manipulating others, and not to be of true service to others. And I'm not saying that true service it gets to be free, because I also heard many times, in order, even from a big influencers, even recently, when I heard that, I'm like, I appreciate that person vulnerability that is already in billions, and claiming when she was asking to how she came about to those billions, was to a lot of self-sacrificing, to finally being seen, and created more visibility if of that service, to finally be noticed, and finally be accepted, and start making money. It seems like, yes, it's part of it. However, well, we also are humans, and we get to pay our obligations, and pay the bills, and create more of that harmony, that, yes, having that understanding, but also that because of potential desperate moments, we not self-sacrificing ourselves, and end up in manipulations, and not just hurting ourselves even more, when we dropping our core values, especially if those core values are integrity, authenticity, being true to yourself. Can create more upheaval for you, and it will definitely not create a true service for others, because somebody else that you can just keep pushing yourself, keep doing some kind of manipulation of the systems, and keep giving your mind, your heart, your body, your soul, in order to get some kind of publicity stand, to be noticed, to be visible. So you hope that through that, yes, you can be of better service to others. However, let's hope that all that will did not change you, and really create more of that divine light, and not just even more manipulation, because recently I experienced that as well, that people felt that they went so far in a business world, and that they want to escape from that manipulation, that they tuning more to the spirituality, and it becoming really very conflicting things, because they don't know how to bring that business word out of that manipulation, and how to really tuning to a true service through the spirituality, and not some returning to some manipulation and ego, that, well, I'm already invincible, I'm so awakened in spirituality, and I'm here for the light and bringing light to others, and I'm not I cannot be touched by any manipulation, and at that point you're losing, because you're already kind of coming from the pride and denial of that you already don't belong to this earth, when you're still living day to day in this earth. And even though there's a lot of transformations are happening in this earth, in our own humanness and beingness, to bring more light, to transform our experiences. However, there's so much ways to go, and it's a bigger even need to come in the community, in you, that can co-create, create that through co-creation, and in the community environment, when you can experience more harmony, more unity within yourself, and share that unity with the others, and going out there and share and making that true difference for others, through being in more practicing of that, more harmony with the others, more unity, and even if they have differences, if they have, because we're so used to and being going to those defaults, that we can only relate with people that are have something in common, and it's good to create that initial connection. However, what is more empowering is to create a connection with somebody that might have differences, because that's how we can expand each other, when we're not always agreeing to everything, but sometimes can bring the light when seeing things from a different perspective. And it gets to kind of come, because what's happening in this world is a lot of disharmony, and a lot of hurts, and the division is created from a disconnect and not the deeper connection. So there's really not coming from harmony within or outside, to really experience the value of the diversity, and uniqueness of each individual person, because that's many times, if you not believe in what other majority believes, you must be wrong. There must be something wrong with you, and this is just keep coming to that manipulation, that that everybody gets to be the same, and yes, for a selected few, that self-selected themselves because of the manipulation. They came to some kind of control. It's easier for them to control when other people are coming from the same belief structures, and not somehow using their voice, and they disconnecting from themselves, and not using their divine right of divine connection, and using their power and using their voice to make a difference for themselves and others. And it's changing, and more of a visionary leaders gets to come realize that, to make this world a better place, that this world gets to finally see more and experience more of that unconditional love, that we get to live more in that harmony, unity, and freedom, true freedom, that a lot of us were looking for, and that finding that it's not so easy to create that real true freedom. And yes, if you will be tuning to manipulation and greed and disconnecting yourself, there's no freedom, true freedom at all. It's only get to be experienced when you realize that you get to keep connecting to you, to your inner light, to be able to see yourself as the light and share that light with the others, and honor each other, no matter what. If they feel that we have something in common in so many ways, or there's a difference, but we do have one mission, big mission in common, to bring uh, more love to this world, more love, joy to this world, more peace to this world, more light to this world. So that's the commonality, and it doesn't mean that it only can happen with people that completely the same, but it gets to keep happen with the people that unite themselves based on the differences, and realizing that even that the differences that we in the conflicts that we inner conflicts that we keep experiencing within, we get to bring them to unity as well, so we can see others and accept others in their uniqueness as well, when we recognizing that we are unique human being, and we get to create more that inner harmony, more of that inner freedom, and more of that inner love. We start seeing things from a different perspective and start seeing others from a different perspective. So I've been kind of chatting here after a while with that message. Trust that it brings some of that divine light to you here, and that it gets to be in more harmony between the physical light, your body, the mental light, your mind, and mental and emotionally your heart, where and divine light is more about the energy and that connection, divine and spiritual light. And I just realized that I call that divine light, and usually yes, divine light is kind of spiritual light that gets to be all in the harmony. So anyhow, and but I know some bigger brands and influencers who somehow remaining some authentic, and I'm also getting to the point that I really coming more from my reconnection to myself, and tuning more to my intuition, to see where I get to connect with who I get to connect, that is not attempting manipulation, but really coming also from that unconditional love, and kind of realizing that there's more kind of talks out there about the Christ conscious, and that Christ conscious is being kind of more activated. And for me, it's also deeper realizations happening, that I somehow from a very business oriented world came to spirituality, asking God for support, because it became a big conflicting space, and turmoil, inner turmoil. And the God helped me and brought me to a guide who was more versed in that Christ conscious, and for me to create that deeper transformation within, so I can be of the true service to others, from more of that harmony, and the experiences of the business experience, and having formal educations, and being in that business world, and seeing not just at the face value, but behind the scenes. And same with spirituality, and kind of bringing both to harmony, and creating something for others as well. So I'm looking to connect with some amazing putting still focus on more of women, visionary women, heart center, who where we can truly co-create in more of that unity, harmony, and freedom freedom and love, where we can make a huge difference for ourselves and expand each other, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and in our body, to bring more of that light, and with that create that true service, and for others as well. So when you feel that might be something of interest to you, please reach out. I will see on my YouTube channel if there's a way for me to share the link, to schedule some time together and explore that possibility. At this point, sending you so much love, joy, peace, and light, and see you around. Take care.